And now, ReclinerMedia.com presents The Stalking Dead with Mark Saxton and Michael Spillane.
I've been saying forever that Shane, through the first two seasons, is probably one of my favorite villains of the show.
Now, Mark and Michael are on.
And welcome into The Stalking Dead here on the Recliner Media Network. Mark and Mike hanging out with you as we get deeper into New York City. Dead City is now the title of that. And we are recapping, going over Season 3, Episode 4, called Lost Found. I don't know how you want to convert the slash in the middle of Lost and Found, but Lost Found is the title of this week's episode. Obviously, if you haven't seen it, spoilers majorly ahead in this one. And don't forget to go to all of our socials, like, follow, subscribe, Facebook, X, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music. And don't forget to go to our home base at reclinermedia.com. A lot to dive into in this episode. Mark, first of all, how you doing? And second, how did you feel about this episode? I feel like there was a lot of hidden meetings in this one, so to speak, and we'll get into that. But what did you think?
Yeah, I think this was a good, I wouldn't even call it a setup episode, but for lack of a better word, I think this is a good episode. Like, it sets up for a lot of possible storylines ahead. For me, I feel like we're at any moment, kind of like in the Walking Dead universe. I think, we're at that point where kind of strap your seatbelts, because within the next few episodes or at any moment, you're going to be in for a ride.
Yeah, so let's dive into this one. Obviously, we are after, they lit up the Statue of Liberty, inviting more people, more communities to join them on the island in New York, Manhattan, or is it Long Island? One of the two. And, Negan's still reluctant to join this community. Some secrets are found out, and then some kind of confusing destruction happens at the end. So let's dive into this one. Episode opens up with Louise trying to help somebody with their foot. The man explains, who we eventually find out his name is Chris, explains that he was traveling down from Maryland and saw the Statue of Liberty. Chris says he'll trade some alcohol that he has for medicine. Back to Maggie and Louise in the car. We go back to Maggie and Louise in the car. They're driving in this van. I'm like, why are we seeing them driving? Turns out they're driving to meet a person to get medical supplies and everything. And I was curious. I was like, what do they have to trade in return? I felt like Maggie's like, come join us. Our community will be stronger with you. But that wasn't the case at all. We'll obviously get into that. Renata says Chris and his wife seem to be good, and have the ability to trade supplies. The fields look good now. We saw them clearing out part of City Park there, and or Central Park there, and it looked plowed. It looked nice. It looks like some things are starting to grow there. So we got a good farming team out there as it looks right now. It turns out, like I said, Maggie and Louise are driving to see what supplies and medical stuff that Louise needs to check out for himself, see what he needs. Obviously, they're low on pretty much everything, morphine, you name it. They need it. They get to on it looks like a little mini shore and stuff like that. They look back as if they were going to never leave the island. And I guess, Mark, I was wrong about last episode. I was like, Luis doesn't seem right. He was either bitten or scratched, but it turns out he was not. So totally wrong.
Very much still alive.
Yeah. But as they're driving in this van and stuff like that, I was like, something's got to happen between Maggie and Luis, right? They're just spending way too much time together to not test out the waters, if you will. And I felt that way. I don't know if it was last episode or the episode before that, going back to episode 2, but definitely in episode 3, I was like, they have some sort of romantic connection, if you will, to not try something, especially when you're traveling for who knows how long there. I'm like, are they going to Maryland?
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I mean, and it seems like almost, I think, like a, what do you call it, a red herring, if you will, because I think the writers are setting it up, one way to make you think there's something going on between Maggie and Luis. But I mean, every time we turn around, they're doing something together. They kind of have the same mindset of values and how they see the world. They kind of have that same mindset of being able to um, salvage what's left of their humanity and kind of try to project that into the world. So I completely agree with you. I just, for whatever reason, I just, it's the Walking Dead universe. So it's gonna blow up, right? It's got to go bad.
Yeah, and that's why I originally thought Luis was bit or scratched in the last episode after the overrun emergency room went and just shit hit the fan in there, and I thought he was like, there's no way one of these main characters is not dying because of this, because like you said, something's got to blow up when something good always happens, and they helped a whole bunch of people, and then of course a whole bunch of people turn. I was like, there's no way all of them are gonna get out of this scot-free, but turns out they all did. And yeah, they're driving in this van. Luis rolls down the window, and Maggie's like, "The hell are you doing?" He goes, "You didn't do this as a kid. It feels like the car is flying." So she does the same. She rolls the window down, and she tries it as well. We hit the opening credits. We come back to people fortifying a border or a wall or a fence, and Trump would have been proud of this. But it just around the hospital and living areas, just kind of fortifying and stuff like that. And somebody, I forgot what character it was, and I'm paraphrasing what they said, and it was like, every time like a wall goes up, people are going to want to knock it down to take what you have. Like, obviously you're building a wall because you're protecting something important, protecting something that other people want or need. So we will see if that comes into fruition here. It appears that Maggie got some people from the bricks, her and Herschel's former living quarters, to the island. And Herschel tells Negan, I was like, what are they counting? Are they counting how many walkers they rounded up? Is that because Herschel comes up to Negan, he goes, I got 24, you're at 23. And then I love Negan's response. He goes, oh, you're a sparky little bastard. And then they and then they proceed to flip each other off. I love their dynamic as well. Remember, a couple episodes ago, or it was last episode, it was Negan who needed stitches, and Herschel was like, I don't know if I'm ready. And again, I was like, are they still talking about Negan killing his dad all those years ago? And I get it. Herschel didn't obviously know his dad, so it was hard. It's but still, you have that in the back of your mind, like, I would know my dad if Negan didn't kill him. But I was like, is he still kind of I get it, you still would be upset, but I thought they were kind of over that. I thought they kind of buried the hatchet. And again, no one's going to be able to bury the hatchet fully when you're hanging out with a dude that killed your dad. But I love their dynamic too. It seems like it just seems like they have a cool back and forth. It might not be friendly and might be loving, but they have that kind of, I don't even know what you would call it. What would you compare their relationship to?
Yeah, I feel the same, because it's almost like they've turned a corner. I think the way, it's not a love-hate, it's not a frenemy, if you will, but I think the frenemy situation is kind of really the best thing I could compare it to. Just they'll take jabs at each other and kind of in good fun, if you will. But I really don't know what to do. I think this is honestly in the cinematic world, if you will, I think this is kind of that first situation that you've kind of seen, like, hey, you killed my dad, but I guess we're kind of cool, like, but we're not kind of cool.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They have a cool, I don't really know what you would compare it to, but yeah, they have a neat little, and I kind of like the frenemy, or like you said, love hate, even that kind of makes sense. So we'll see how it goes throughout this season. Looks like they're rounding walkers up, putting them in back of a truck with buckets on their head. I like, why did nobody?
By the way,
what's that?
I said hilarious. By the way, I thought that was funnier now.
I was like, even that. I was like, why didn't they think of this earlier? Like, yeah, blind them. Like, they just kind of like spin around and like they don't know where to go if they can't see. So like, why wasn't this even like? I get it, it's risky putting a bandana on a walker, but like, why didn't nobody think of this like way back?
Yeah, that was kind of my take too, because I was like, oh, look at that, we've won the war. Like,
Yeah,
all we
like,
needed
all
was
you
a
have to do
bucket.
is blind them,
Let's
and
go
they have
back
no
to
idea
season
what,
1.
yeah, they have no idea what the hell they're doing if they can't see. And I get it. Your main goal is to eliminate them completely by shooting them, stabbing them in the head. But if you're going to use them, like we've seen, they're obviously useful in this series because they use them for the methane to power a city. So I get it. You need them alive. And then, yeah, it's just like, why did nobody think of this? And to Michonne's credit, way back in the OG season, we haven't got there yet, but when we first met Michonne, you know, she cut off their arms and she cut off their jaw. So they were just repellent to other walkers. She kept them on leashes, and no other walkers bothered her because she had 2 walking with her. So again, and it even goes back to one of the original things in the OG season 1, Mark, and that was when they covered themselves in walker guts. Like, why aren't more people doing this to sneak around, to be camouflaged? Like, so now we've seen a couple tactics people are using to get around the walkers and stuff like that, or using them to their advantage, blinding them, cutting off limbs, cutting off jaws, and putting guts on yourself so they can't really smell you. So again, just another tactic. You're like, why hasn't we just thought of this in the 3rd season of a spin-off series? Like, is this? But hey, it works. And then we see a little bit of the pavement start to crack. I was like, is it because of the weight of the truck now with the walkers, or like what is going? Like, is methane leaking somewhere? Or like, I was like, why is the street cracking? We'll come back to that, obviously. Yeah, and then this dude, what was his name? Oh my God, I forgot his name. The guy who got attacked by a walker in the Fabian, by the way. Fabian is the dude's name, and he gets attacked by what looks like another walker whale. It looks like this dude, I mean, he looked buff, first of all. I was like, is this The Rock? And then he was like, he looked like another whale walker. Like, he had been in water for a very, very long time. And then Renata shows, Negan takes him out, and Renata kind of shows, I don't even know what you call it, loyalty, or shows compassion, whatever. She shows Negan an empty apartment. She's like, hey, you deserve a home. I don't trust you as far as I can throw you, but you do deserve a home. And then she kind of lets out the secret, like, I know you killed the Dama. Like, she was on a hunger strike, and then she ate a little bit of her food. Like, is eating one bite of Maggie's whatever they were talking about, potato salad, really ending a hunger strike? And Negan even said as much. He goes, have you tasted Maggie's food? Like, I probably want to kill myself as well. But Renata's like willing to deal with him. Like, hey, come live here. We need you. Like, you're an asset. And Maggie doesn't have to find out about the Dama. So, I mean, going back, kind of relating to Luis and Maggie, I'm like, something's starting to spark here with Renata and Negan. I thought a little bit.
Yeah, same. It was but it was one of those other. For me, I took it as kind of like a what do you call that? The crazy person tension, right? Like like both on edge, and kind of have that tension in general. That kind of turns into that crazy person love. It's kind of how is what I got out of that. Yeah,
and especially at the end of the episode when they're literally like standing inches away from each other and looking into each other's eyes. We'll get it. I'll bring that up when we get to it. But I don't know. I feel like, hey, Negan could do a lot worse.
Facts, especially in the apocalypse, right?
Yeah, and hey, Renata's not bad to look at. I'll tell you that. She says Maggie doesn't have to know about the Dama situation, and then we don't. I mean, I get it. They're trying to keep it a secret, but we don't hear about that situation from the end of the episode, or for the rest of the episode. We go back to Maggie and Luis. They're back in the van, and Maggie tells Luis she would have never left so there was actually a lot of callbacks and kind of flashbacks in this one, going back to the OG series, Mark. And Maggie kicks it off with saying, she would have never left the farm if she had the choice. She mentions Eugene, one of the scenes with Eugene in the fire truck way back when. And And Luis had a funny saying. He's like, we don't fuck with people with mullets. We don't. Yeah, and to Eugene's credit, he had one hell of a mullet. And then we kind of get to hear this kind of sob story from Luis. He mentions his wife, dead wife. We don't really have a confirmation on that, but Marisol is his wife. Maggie shares that she never even knew Luis was married. And then Luis continues the story like she took off without telling him and never came back. I had a feeling. I have a sneaking suspicion, Mark, and I know you kind of watch one episode ahead, so don't spoil it. But I kind of have a sneaking suspicion that, as more and more people come to join their community, I have a really sneaking suspicion that Marisol is going to be she's going to be there one day.
That's I guess I really never thought about it. I took that part for what it was. I took, in my mind, I said, okay, she's dead. I guess because of the lack of detail on her death, I think I just took it as maybe we're gonna get a flashback later on,
and that might be too. Yeah,
that's kind of what I got gathered out of it.
Yeah, because I was like, because they're kind of sharing past live kind of stories. We know Glenn's dead. That kill is confirmed, and they're hanging out with the dude that killed him. So like we know that situation. But obviously,
and that weapon's still around.
Yeah, Luis is still kind of a newer character. Obviously, we don't know nothing. We don't know anything about Marisol, and so I don't know. I think it might be too new of a situation for a flashback. I honestly, this is my kind of theory that I'm throwing out, and we kind of saw it here in a few minutes in this episode. But I have a feeling Maggie and Luis are going to get closer, and then as soon as like Maggie falls for him or trying to make a move, like Marisol is going to show up as part of this new and kind of ruin everything for Maggie. I kind of think that's what this whole title of the episode is, like Lost and Found. Luis and Maggie kept sharing like, who do you want to be in this new start? Kind of stating that they were lost before. Now they've kind of found meaning. They found a community. They found safety for I don't think you're ever really safe in this world, but they're trying to make it safe, I guess. So that's what I kind of took as like both. I directly correlate that to Maggie and Luis. Like both of them are lost. Even Negan, you could throw into there. Like he's completely lost. He doesn't know where he fits in. He wants to be playing Gears of War at the bar with Dillard, and I think he wants to be found, but he's not letting anybody be found. And I think that's why Renata was like, listen, we found you, like live here and be part of this. So little side tangent there, but that's what I kind of correlate the title of this episode. And we're not really getting characters saying the name of the episode like the OG series. So that's what I kind of correlate this title to. But yeah, Maggie didn't even know Luis was married. This is how much like this is all new. Like they've been around each other for what seems like a while now, and they haven't really shared intimate or emotional feelings before. And again, that kill was not confirmed. So Marisol, I have a feeling we might see her sometime soon. Luis also states that he might grow a mullet, and Maggie kind of chuckles at that. They seem like I was like, they've been driving for a while now. Like, are they going to Maryland? Like, are they going to upstate New York? Are they going to Buffalo? Like, how long is this ride?
Yeah, no, I agree. There was a point, during that whole thing where they stopped and like was eating in the back and kind of like took a little walk. I'm like, yeah, it's not a drive to the Grand Canyon, right? I mean, like, what are we doing?
Yeah, I thought when they were, I was like, are they going to put up a sign that says when the van's rocking? Like, I don't know. I don't know. They pull up. Yeah, they pull up to a wood cabin. Again, like, sometimes this show is good about, like, when they're entering new states, we'll see, like, welcome to Georgia or welcome to whatever. Like, we got signs saying where you were. We didn't really get anything. So I was like, are they really going to Maryland? Like, Maryland was mentioned at the beginning of the episode by Chris, the alleged husband of this new character we're about to meet. That's still fresh and new. So I didn't really, it sounded like they were married, but I don't know. Like, and then why did Chris come here without his wife? I guess because the wife needs to stay and protect everything at this cabin. The trader greets him again. Like, do you have a name? do you really self-title your name yourself the traitor? By the way, the traitor is I'm going to absolutely butcher this actress's name, but Falaki Alufaiku. Again, no idea how to pronounce her name. If you're wondering what she's been in before, she's been in 92 episodes, 95 episodes, excuse me, of Barb Hart's Abisola. Never honestly heard of it. No really big things that she's been on. So this kind of might be besides that Barb Hart's thing, this might be one of the bigger projects that she's been on. But yeah, the traitor. Again, why are we using nicknames? There's a shot of her too, like, yeah. So she says that Luis gives her a rundown of everything that they need, and she says you better have something more valuable than the sun to trade for all of those medical supplies. And Maggie states that they have the blueprints for turning walkers into energy, the whole Croat methane thing. And then the trader starts going over these blueprints. She goes, I have somebody that kind of needs to look at this to see if we can do that. It's already been done. Like, why do you, it reminded me of like an episode of Pawn Stars, Mark, where they're like, everything they want. They're like, let me call a buddy down here. He can look at it. And then maybe we can work out a deal. Like, that's what it reminded me of.
No, I felt the same, because at first I was like, are you really going to haggle right now? Like, you're living in a cabin, you're smoking a pipe.
But that was my second thought. They're like, well, maybe they need to see if they can do it out here. Like, obviously it can be done in the city, but that. Can they do it out here, I guess is what maybe the issue is.
That's fair. Yeah, I didn't look at it like that, but I was like, obviously it works. Like, what are we gonna haggle here? Like,
yeah, I was like, is this Rick Harrison saying, I got a buddy who knows everything about this. Let me get him down here.
It's like I was waiting for him. Okay, you need something as valuable as the sun. Here you go. Best I could do is the sky. Sorry, like.
Yeah. So we're looking for medical supplies. Best I can do is a wind chime.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So and then she says they will have to stay the night there while she uses the van again. Like, what the fuck? Like, sure, take our van, leave us here with no weapons, and yeah, we'll just be here playing Jenga, by the way. And then Maggie's like, hey, I shivved a broomstick. Yeah. Like, that's what they're doing right now, is playing Jenga
against a gun, mind you.
What's that?
I said against a gun, right? Because they took their guns. So I mean, a broom handle versus a gun. I don't know. Yeah. So then Maggie and Louise start having some more kind of intimate conversations. They ask each other who they want to be in this fresh start. Louise kind of shares, like, I want to be the man that Marisol married and stuff like that. And then we get a sudden knock on the door. It's some guy asking for the traitor. He has a can of like cinnamon crunched apples in a can, and his name is Gerald, by the way. Here's a good shot at Gerald. Gerald is actually played by Ned Van Zant. And when I first heard that name, Mark, I was like, wait a minute, that last name sounds familiar. Yeah, because Steven Van Zant was in The Sopranos. And I was like, are they related? And then I was totally let down, and they are not related. So, no relation. I was gonna say that was a familiar last name. It kind of caught me off guard for a second.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute. Like, is he the brother of Steven Van Zandt? But no, he's not. Yeah, so I was kind of excited about that, and then after further research, which is a lost term around here. By the way, if you're wondering who Steven Van Zandt is, there you go. They don't really look like brothers. And I get it. The Sopranos was a long time ago. I don't know. But again, I was like, how I guess how popular is a last name like Van Zandt? And turns out only two people in Hollywood have that. He played, by the way, he played Silvio Dante in The Sopranos, a very, very funny, good character in that show. But anyway, yeah, his name is Gerald. I was like, dude, just like Renata told Negan, I was like, I don't trust this dude as far as I could probably throw this dude. Like,
Yeah.
I get it. He seems like a cool old man or whatever, good old boy. And
That's
then
how they get you.
yeah. And then they tied him up and stuff like that. Maggie asked what his community like. He says there's 62 of them and they're not that far away. And then I thought this was funny. He says he belonged to an old church group, and Maggie tested this church group guy. They literally had a Bible verse off.
That was smooth. It was.
Yeah. I was like, is this the Bible verses? Like, is this a verses right now? And yeah, like Maggie's like, yo, what's this from? And he goes, Corinthians 5:18. And she's like, oh shit, like this guy knows his stuff.
Yeah, my favorite though was when she hit him with another one. She was like, all right, like you could see the wheels. So you're like, okay, anybody would know that verse, but what about this verse?
Yeah, here's a deep cut for you. Nobody knows this one. And then he's like, and then I forgot what was said, and he goes, even worse, we're Presbyterians. I thought that was pretty funny as well.
That was funny.
Because he was like, yeah, most church people are cults. He goes, we're worse than a cult. We're Presbyterians.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was kind of funny.
Not for nothing though, but it's kind of crazy to me, like how like willing he was. Like when they were tying him up, he didn't struggle, he didn't fight. He was being held at broom point, if you will. Like he was just going with the flow, man. He was just Gerald taking a stroll, right, waiting to talk to the traitor.
Yeah, good old Gerald. So they were like, okay, let's, I guess, put some trust in this guy. Gerald takes them to his community. He introduces them to his granddaughter, of all people. And then I was like, again, I was still thinking something seems a bit off. Like nobody's this happy. I get it. You're kind of secluded in the woods, which is probably a smart tactic in the zombie apocalypse. Like, how many? I was like almost waiting for like Sophia to run by. She got lost that far in the woods, but yeah, that kill was also confirmed. But I was like, something
double tap.
Did something seem off for you as well? Still, even though Gerald seemed like a good guy.
Yeah, no, most definitely. And I think what seemed most off to me as well, even for Gerald's side, like you just, like I said, you just got held at broom point, and now you're taking these people, your captors, if you will, to your home. Like what are we doing? There's so many things that were red flags to me. I'm like, what are we doing here? Yeah.
So they eventually tell Gerald about, kind of the methane thing turning walkers into energy. And he's like, we don't really need that. Like, we don't really want it. It could be very dangerous. And then they're at this full moon celebration. They're passing around a cup and some look like bread, I guess, just like you were doing communion in church. And then, he said, let's have food, let's have wine. And I was like, in my head, and I don't remember if you remember the Terminus situation back in the OG series. I don't even remember what season that was, but the whole I was like, is this another Terminus where they're cannibals? Like, are they eating people who come visit? That literally that thought snuck into my mind. I was like, is this another? Because just something seemed off. I was like, this looks like a church group who eats people.
Yeah, I wasn't going the cannibal route, but I like that take because I too felt something was off. I, however, thought for sure that it was, and this is what my mind went straight to. I'm like, okay, the traitor's been gone, so the traitor took these guys as blueprints, and now they're leaving them up to these people to hold them captive until they can get everything they need for. Like, I thought we were gonna go on a whole other tangent, a whole other rabbit hole. That's what I thought.
Yes, but anyway, things kind of turn a corner. They invite music starts playing. They invite Maggie and Luis to dance, and they were like, "Huh, okay, we got some banjo playing. We got some, I don't even know what kind of music you call that. Some soulful, religious music. I don't even know what you call it. They pretty much embarrass themselves when they start to dance, but they're laughing. They're like." It almost seems like they forgot about what kind of world they're in for a moment, and then a slow dance begins, and it took me back to like middle school all over again, like standing across the room from all the girls, and you're like, do I take my shot? Do I, because and then if you're not chosen, or if you don't make the first move to go grab a girl to slow dance or to dance to a slow dance, and then you're just kind of sitting in one of those very uncomfortable cafeteria chairs all by yourself, kind of looking at your hands. Didn't have cell phones back then, so you couldn't act like you were doing something on your phone. You were just kind of like, and then all your friends are dancing with girls, and you're like, shit. You just feel like a complete shithead.
Yeah. And don't forget the watered down punch and the dry ass cookies.
Oh yeah. And then, hey, if you're a Mac Daddy and you like bring a girl close, and then someone comes by and says, "Leave room for Jesus."
No, yeah. Hey, you look
honestly,
at all your boys.
Yeah, honestly, I thought that was going to happen in this because they are a church group.
They are.
Yeah. So again, this comes back to the whole, I guess, sparky, flirty thing. They get close, they're slow dancing, and then they kiss. And I'm like, see, I knew it was coming. I'm right. Turns out Maggie was just imagining all of this. And I'm like, oh my God. And some of these, like I mentioned at the top of the episode, I was like, there's just some like hidden messages, I wouldn't even call it subliminal messaging, but there was a lot of like hidden messages, even in the name of the episode. Like Maggie's like, I think she's starting to lose her former life, because she even mentioned like, my reason for existence now is protecting Herschel. She even said that, and she goes, I don't even think he needs that anymore. So like, I don't know where I'm going right now. I don't know what kind of person I want to be. And I think she's losing her former self, I think, and we'll get to that here shortly towards the end of the episode, because I think that cemented this theory. But I think she's starting to let go of the former life, and it's funny because now we're how many years deep in the zombie apocalypse, Mark, in the Walking Dead universe, and when I say lose, letting go of her former life, that's not even pre-apocalyptic talk. That's OG Walking Dead series now that we're talking about. That's how deep of this we're in. Maggie, of course, like kind of freaks out, and she goes, they should leave. They've been here too long. And I thought that was like, obviously she's scared. She imagined kissing a dude that's not Glenn. It's probably hard for her to imagine herself with anybody else. And I thought too, like, she probably doesn't want to lose focus. Like, they came here for a reason. She's got other priorities right now. She's trying to protect and run, I guess, lead a whole new community that they're starting to build. So I was like, she's trying not to lose focus by getting too entrenched in this Presbyterian party.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think on top of the fear of, like you said, Glenn, kind of the moving on from Glenn, if you will, is, and on top of the whole Herschel thing, because I thought all those same things, and kind of to add to that, I think now she has no choice, in a situation like that, she has no choice but to think of everything human, which, I mean, how often do you get to do, right, in that kind of a world? And that was where there was no danger. You have nothing else to think about other than human emotion and human feeling about the person in front of you. So I think, that in itself, after how many years of being on the run, that in itself scared the hell out of her.
Well, yeah, and there's really no letting go of Glenn anyway, or your former life when you're hanging out with Negan. Like, yeah. It's just a constant reminder of what was, I guess.
Like, hey, dick.
Yeah, and even Negan's just trying to, I think he's trying to let everything go that once was as well. By the way, I was today years old when I found out Negan's last name is Smith.
You know what? I don't think I've ever even questioned what his last name was until you just brought this up.
Yeah, because I thought it was like a Seal or like a Madonna type or like a McLovin type situation. I was like,
one name.
I was like, yeah. So yeah, Negan Smith, by the way, the gym teacher.
That is, nice.
Yeah, because I was on IMDb trying, just kind of looking up these new characters, and it said Jeffrey Dean Morgan, Negan Smith. I was like, Smith?
I'll be damned.
Yeah, today years old. How many years later of talking about this show, we found out Negan's last name is Smith. Crazy. crazy. So yeah, Maggie kind of loses herself a little bit. Where the next morning they're kind of hanging out on the front porch. The van approaches. The trader opens up the back, and it's just full of supplies like medicine upon medicine, morphine. Luis even tastes the morphine to see if it's real. Like, what else would it be? I guess like raccoon piss in the woods. Like, I don't. I want to know where she went to get this. By the way, that's what I want.
That's what I was just gonna ask, and then I was gonna ask too. Not only where she went to get it, but like, is there more? Right? Like, because I feel like what they gave the trader kind of isn't. What do you call it? Like, it's unlimited, right?
It's not sufficient enough.
Yeah, and so that's what I'm saying. Like,
and it's a trade of stuff that they might even want. Like, Gerald might get in the trader's ear and be like, we don't need this. Like, it's dangerous.
Right. But see, my thing is, hey, I gave you something that's kind of unlimited because we're not running short on walkers. But I could see the end of that medicine, right? It's only a van full, like.
Yeah, especially if they keep welcoming more people in. So they get in the van, they're about to take off, and I was like, wait a minute, they're not even going to check if the guns are still on the dashboard. Like, that's probably the most minute detail of this episode, but it bothered me. I was like, same. They were reluctant to give them up. They threw them on the dashboard, and then they get in the van. I'm like, they're not even going to check if the trader even, like, did she take them?
Right. And even then, so now you lost again on the trade, right? Like, it wasn't a win.
Yeah. So I was like, they didn't even check if they were there. We're back in the city now. And this is where I was like, Negan and Renata. Negan tells Renata he knows that she's setting him up so she can keep an eye on him after he kind of saw the whole security center and all the cameras and stuff like that. Renata tells him that her offer was genuine. And then I was like, dude, they're gonna hook up right here. Like, I even have it like in my notes. I was like, looks like they might hook up. I literally wrote that down. So that's what I thought. And they were like literally so close to each other. I was like, it's coming. Like, it's coming.
Yeah, no, like I said, I think there's that weird crazy person tension, man. I really do. Like, that's the couple that you're gonna walk in the house. There's gonna be holes in the drywall, and they're gonna be just the happiest people in front of you.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be another Shane and Andrea situation where he's like, oh, come on in. Yeah, you just need to bang it out once just to get it out of your system.
just see where it's at after that,
yeah. And then, of course, Maggie and Luis ruin the moment. So they walk in. Maggie even looked like Maggie, you could tell on her face, she was a little suspicious. She's like, what do we miss? Yeah. And Negan's like, same old.
Waiting for the old Dale to come out in there.
Yeah.
What happened in there?
Yeah, and then all of a sudden they feel the ground shake, and then we're back outside. Dillard tells Herschel that there was a sinkhole a few years back. The truck falls, all the walkers break out, all the buckets fall off their heads. And again, I wrote this again. I was like, I guess last episode was not Luis's last because he's still kicking it around. Renata, Herschel, and Dillard try to save the food, and I don't even think they get even close to like a quarter of. I mean, that place was pretty stocked up, and you're like, damn, like did they just lose all that food? Yeah. And then Maggie's like wrestling this walker. It pulls off her necklace with Glenn's wedding ring, and then she starts to have flashbacks of Glenn. And this is where I kind of thought too, going back to what we just mentioned. I think this was like her almost letting go, and I think losing the wedding ring was maybe the for lack of a better term, final nail in the coffin of letting go what was, and for her to move on. She's got I guess pretty good guy right in front of her in Luis, but then I was like, and maybe that's why she was like, after she imagined them kissing, I was like, and then she was like, we gotta go, like, fuck this. And I was like, yep, she knows you cannot get in a relationship in this world.
And that's super fair. I mean, we've seen it time and time again.
I mean, she literally experienced it with Glenn. Like, you
firsthand.
Cannot do it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, her dreams of being in love and having a family literally exploded at the head. So.
And it would be natural for her to still want to protect Herschel because that's obviously her son and her family. So nobody would have blamed her. But yeah, I was like, I was like, dang, she literally lost her wedding ring, and I was like, that's it. Like that's the symbol or the hidden meaning of her moving on, and I think that's what correlates back to the title of the episode. Like she was lost. She, I guess, lost her wedding ring, and I think she's gonna move on and find herself in this new community, new world, however you want to take that. She tries to get the ring. Negan picks her up. She was unable to get it. And then again, the food room starts to crumble. A giant, is this, I've never, I guess I've never researched sinkholes. Is this a sinkhole? Is this an earthquake? Is this just like too many walkers shitting in tubes? Like, what is this?
Yeah. I honestly,
like,
never
do earthquakes happen in New York? Is that possible? I mean,
Yeah, no, I have no idea. And like I said, never seen a sinkhole either, so I couldn't tell you. I just kind of took the script for what it was worth there.
Yeah, so like there's a giant hole now. Kind of two groups are separated. Herschel, Renata, Luis, and Dillard are on one side of this hole, and then Maggie and Negan are on the other side. It's not like they can't reach each other, but they just kind of look back and forth, like what the fuck just happened? Like what's going on? Like as soon as we start to build, like again, you get something good, like even Mother Nature's like, nope, fuck that. And
yeah. No good deed, huh? No good deed.
Yeah. So, and then we get the credits. So yeah, I thought this was I think it was a good episode. Obviously, even going back to the OG series, I mean, so many people talked about it. It's not a people versus zombie show, really. It's a people versus people show with zombies in the background, because I mean, they've thought of so many ways to kind of handle the zombies, and we just literally saw a new way by putting buckets on their head. And so yeah, I thought it was interesting. I thought it was, I don't know, Maggie just seems to be, I mean, I guess I don't know if it was intentional for her to take this long, but we've seen her kind of grow and change and really step into leadership. Like she's done it before. She's been a badass, you know, ever since they left the farm. She was a little soft at the farm because, you know, they haven't really been around this world. They've been in the world, but not in the world. If you get that wordplay, because they were on a secluded farm, so they didn't really know how to handle themselves in the streets. So yeah, I thought Maggie, and I thought really the title of this episode, again, harping on it a lot, but I think this title of the episode was really meant for Maggie, and then maybe Luis. You know, he was kind of lost. I think he's more found himself than Maggie. Negan's just, yeah, he's just walking around in the dark. Like he's like, I don't know where to go. Like obviously he's carrying around his bat, which is named Lucille, and that was his wife's name. And we'll obviously dive into that when that time comes in the original episode. But I mean, so Maggie Negan is kind of the walking around reminder of Maggie's former life. Negan's baseball bat is kind of his reminder of his former life. So, I mean, there is stuff to remind him, but I think that Maggie's closer to finding herself than Negan is.
Yeah, and you know, for me personally, how I took the title of the episode was, civilization was kind of lost, and now it's kind of being found amongst their community again, because it touched everybody. It kind of reminded me of what, you know, Maggie's dad, Herschel, was kind of talking about in the OG series, where he said he's got hope, that things can be built and created again. And I mean, here we are watching them evolve in this apocalypse where, hey, they turned the lights on. I mean, the invention of light was pretty important, and they kind of just reconnected and recreated that. So, you know, I think just the outlook as far as they came and building this community, having, you know, the electricity, building up the hospital, teaching doctors, teaching medicine. So that's kind of how I took it. It was kind of just civilization has been lost for so long, and now it's found again.
Yeah, and that's a good definition, because you look at how many people were lost, and then they saw the Statue of Liberty light up, and they're like, oh, you know, maybe that's a beacon of hope. Maybe we're found. But again, that could ultimately backfire, because we've seen communities just shit all over each other because of whatever resources they have. Like, people don't get along.
Right.
Just
I
whatever
want
the
I
case
want
may
all
be.
your shit.
Yeah. So yeah, and then you have those kind of reluctant people who are like, yeah, we'll give you this, but what do you have in like literally you better have the sun. And Maggie's like, well, we kind of have the sun. We have farting walkers to turn your lights on for a limited amount of time. And again, like even if they wanted to do that there, I'm like, do they just again, is that why they were loading? Like they haven't even got to that part yet. I was like, is that why they're loading the truck to ship the walker somewhere, or just to keep them round up? Because then they were filing them down in the basement of whatever building and putting them in jail cells, and then those walkers are awaiting their sentence to become methane walkers. Like,
Yeah.
so you got to think of the logistics too. Like they took a boat, by the way. Like I mean, I get it. There's probably walkers wherever, but how are you going to ship all these? Like you need multiple vehicles, so they better think of the logistics if they're going to be shipping walkers out to the woods.
Yeah, I mean, literally, it's like they're in the cattle business, right? So it's gonna need some tools and gonna need some vehicles there to get the job done.
So yeah, that about does it with episode 4, once again titled Lost Found. Next week we will be recapping and diving into season 3, episode 5, titled Imperialis. So interesting to learn the definition of that as it ties in to episode 5 of Dead City. So I don't know how many episodes. There's usually, I don't even know. Let me check how many episodes were in season 2.
It's like
not
8
that
to
many.
10, right?
My guess was going to be 8, and there was 8 episodes in season 2. By the way, like the OGE series, like season 2 was like 24 episodes if you're if you're keeping track. But so we're more than halfway. Well, we're halfway done recapping them, but we're more than halfway done as this season. By the way, don't know if you heard, season 4 of Daryl Dixon is a green light. So we will get another season of the Daryl Dixon series. Don't know about the Rick and Michonne series. Haven't heard a whole lot. By the way, Scott M. Gimple, who's been like the showrunner, writer, producer for this show for many, many years, came out and said that the Walking Dead universe isn't going anywhere. Like we're going well beyond like 2032. So another 8 years of of Walking Dead content. And then, obviously a lot of shitheads on social media were like, I stopped watching season 6 of the regular. Like, dude, nobody cares. Like, if you don't want to, don't fucking watch it.
But it's obviously gaining viewers and making money, or else they would not be continuing.
Yeah, and then those some people are going to be like, I'm going to watch it and then just shit on it in the comments.
Yeah, because they got nothing better to do. And here's my thing. If it bothers you, don't watch it, right? Number one. Number two is, if you are watching it and you don't like it, then shame on you. That's like banging your head against the wall and saying it hurts, but you're not going to stop.
Yeah, like, is somebody literally forcing you to sit down and watching it?
Right. And let's be honest, in today's day and world, where you got to download so many different platforms, you're really going out of your way to seek these episodes.
Yeah. So anyway, so yeah, we're going to get a lot more Walking Dead. So yeah, excited for the new season of Daryl Dixon either. So that was kind of a pleasant surprise, I guess, when it comes to the Walking Dead universe as it is. But yeah, I think that I wonder if we're going to get more spin-offs, like other characters coming back. By the way, the ones who live were the Rick and Michonne. At first they were like, we're going to make a movie about this, like Rick's journey after the OG series, and then they made one season of it, and then you were like, well, what's going on? So I haven't heard much about that, but hopefully we will soon, I guess, maybe. But yeah, so excited for Daryl Dixon, Dead City. We'll see how long this one goes. There's got to be, based on where we are now in this season, I was like, there's got to be at least one more season to see where this kind of goes, but could be completely wrong. They got 3 more episodes yet to come out. So, I mean, they could wrap this one up this year, but according to what Scott M. Gimple said, we got a long time before this episode or this universe, I should say, nears its end.
I like it. I'm cool with that. I think if they do it right, there's plenty of content to be made that'll still be enjoyable. So I'm excited.
Yeah. But that is going to do it for us here on the Stalking Dead. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow all of our socials: Facebook, X, Instagram, TikTok. Go to our home base as well, reclinermedia.com, to check out all of the stuff there. Hopefully got a few new pods coming to the network very, very soon. So stay tuned for that. Also, we're going to be starting countdown to Doomsday, leading up to Avengers Doomsday. We want to invite you, by the way, to hop on an episode with us. If you hop on an episode with us, kind of maybe answer some Marvel trivia, give us your breakdown, your favorite characters, favorite villains, whatever, you'll be walking out with a prize. Up to you, really. You can win a Marvel Funko Pop. You can win tickets. Tickets are already on sale, by the way, for Avengers Doomsday. We still got 4 months until that comes out, but tickets are on sale. So many prizes for you to win on that. This pod, obviously, brought to you by One Man's Dreamers. Curious about someone else's views and opinions about Disney parks, or just thinking about going for the first time and want some new perspective? Check out onemandreamers.com for Disney park blogs, travel planning, hidden park secrets, honest reviews, and more from a 10-year Disney cast member. So go to onemandreamers.com for all of that. Mark, any final thoughts before we get on out of here?
Folks, enjoy the rest of your week.
Yeah, there you go. So we are out of here. For Mark Saxton, I am Michael Spillin. We will talk to you next week.